Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Hey, Modern. How you doing, man? Let's see. I have to chart to share about. Okay, no worries, man. Oh, Crypto Janice came through. So we got plenty of content. God, I've got about 10 from X too. So we got plenty of content. Holy smokes. When I ask for content, Crypto Janice, he delivers. So we got plenty. Oh, let's see what I got. Looks like it's mostly crypto. Oh, geez, I mean, feels like there might be a trend establishing on the stock indexes. Steel Swarm, now it's working. Okay, Steel Swarm. Let's see. I selected sharing, but when I opened the link, yeah, the sharing is a little tricky. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure how to do it. My guys know how to do it. Modern, if you just post what you want, we'll do. But I'd like to see your work, of course. Let's see what else I got in here. Steel Swarm. I got Attila the Killer. Oh yeah, it looks like it's. We got it. There's SPX. Bitcoin, of course. All right, we'll get a good one. So what are we at here? 32. We'll give another minute. We'll go. Let's see. Where are you, Modern? Are you in there? I didn't see it. I don't see you in there. Where'd you? Let's see it. Okay. Well, we'll get it sorted out. Modern, just post what you. Modern is your handle in the Discord is Modern Picasso as well, isn't it? Because I don't see your post. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got you. Okay, no worries, man. I get it. So I can see. Yeah, I see your image. That's all I need. Your image, right? I'm just kind of, the point is to see how you guys are coming with it. Yeah, I got that. Okay, let me get back to the top here. And we'll get rolling here. Oh shit, there's a lot. Okay, so steel is up first. Steel swarm, let me get that link. And we'll get hit right to it. Okay, steel, let's copy it. Oh shit, I got a big note here. Okay. All right, so that one can go. Got a big note here. Okay, I'm gonna do one thing here. Let's change the settings. Give me a second here. We'll get going. All right, disclaim. That's off. Okay, so here we go. So first, I apologize. I was off last week. I was just traveling, and the first day back here, I just wasn't ready for it. So apologize for the missed content from last week. Interesting, right? Often isn't that the case? When you miss a little time, right? Markets go crazy. Okay, so here, I'm just going to read this note here. So I've got Cardano to Tether. This is a tricky count, right? I like what you're doing here, right? This is mighty deep. Let's see. So we could be looking for one more leg up, blue, right? I'm going to change that color so we can see a little bit better. And object tree is a mess. Okay. PS for the next charts, just search for the pairs on Binance. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna hide this so we can dig in here. All right. So just quick review, right? For any, we have a lot of new people and new subs. So what I do, right, every Wednesday, I poll the members. I ask them to give me their content with their TA on it. And if you're a free member, we really would like to see you post a chart rather than just pop in and say give me a chart. Right? We're not chart monkeys, but we could, because it's about learning in the process. Members, right? If you don't have a chart, that's okay. But we always prefer, right? Because I really this is my favorite day of the week is the live stream, because I get to really see what you guys are doing and how you're processing the content that we're teaching. So I always enjoy these. We do it this way often. If a chart needs to be tweaked a little bit to be consistent with what we teach, right? It's not always about, well, your Elliott count is wrong, right? That's not what we're trying to do. But if there's a glaring mistake in rules and guidelines, right, we want to point that out, and then often that can lead to, tweaking the charts a bit beyond what was started. So that's the idea here. So let's get through it. Now, often, as I'm sure you guys all recognize, when it's your chart, right, you've got a shitload of things on here, like a steel swarm. It's always easier to process it when you're looking at it. You guys, looking at a video here, sometimes it can take a minute to get a handle on what's happening here. But let's dig in here. So this is Cardano, which... Right, all the ingredients here are for a big move in Cardano are there. It's just not happening yet, right? So it's tempting to get a little frustrated here and go, God, is this ever coming? Let me pull out to an 8 here and get a little more context on this. It looks like he's got a set of median lines on here that I can't see. I'm going to go out to the daily. Always a good idea, right? Higher time frame always rules, right? Don't forget that, right? It's easy to get caught up in a lot of people really like to do their Elliott work on the 1 hour, which is fine, but you got to go out to the daily and the weekly and look at the higher time frames, because they will always dictate the price action, right? That's where institutions work. They're not down on the 1 minute chart or the 5 minute chart. They don't even look at those, right? Their daily, weekly, monthly is where they're moving markets. Now, not saying that broadly, right? What is it? Goldman Sachs does 10,000 trades a second. Not their traders, their algorithms. So I'm not saying that there's not short-term trading, but recognize the shorter the time frame, the more directly you're competing with the algos, right? Which you will never ever, under any circumstances, outtrade them. So why do you want to go there? Yet it's so tempting to go there, because the rationale, particularly for new traders, is, oh, well, if I go to the smaller time frame, the risk is going to be lower, right? Because the distance to my stop will be smaller. Well, to some degree that's true, but the number of trades you're going to make is going to be insanely high. Often won't justify the reduction in the risk profile, because your trading costs will be so high. So what we teach is swing trading. Now, can you apply these methodologies down to a 5-minute one? Yeah, yes, you can. So of course you can, right? But you're going to be adjusting counts much more frequently, which can lead people to go, oh, fuck, this Elliott Wave shit doesn't work. Well, okay. Well, why don't you start on the daily and maybe reevaluate that position? So with this said here, so that's why I'm out here on a daily, so I can see his overall count. Now, okay, I think this may be Al here. I can't remember. Oh, that's a little front run here. So here's our friend Al, as I've taken to personalizing him. But here's our friend, the Algo, right? This is the measured move Algo, right? I like to remind people, right? It's not my work. This is David Halsey's work. Oh, the only thing I did to tweak it was add the 65, right? Which now, I don't get a lot of credit for it. Not that I really care, but I see people call this all sorts of things. I promise you there was nobody putting that on there before I started doing it in 2018. Because I kept seeing the 618 break by 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks. And I said, well, fuck, what can I put on there? Now, some people use the 66 and they want to call it the golden pocket, It's funny. But there was nobody doing this before because I was the first one to do it because I pulled it out of my ass. Okay, all right, so, 1, 2, right, we get this. There's a 2. Let's get this going here, and I get off my little horn here. 1, 2, does that make sense? Well, it looks like it's ABC into a WXY, right? So you've got a sense of, okay, this looks like we're following good rules and guidelines here. There's a good candidate for a 2. Now, we can't seem to get launched here. 1, 2, 1, 2. You could just look at this and go, okay, I just got a big mess of consolidation here. And now, granted, I know you can't see it in there, but just so we have context, what is our target here? Right. So, again, right, most of you are you trading, are you holding trades on the daily? Most won't because it's too hard to do. That's why, institutions, right, use algorithms, right? So they don't have to think about it, right? They'll just stay long until, well, here would be your algo target from this pivot right here. There's the target, right? That's the first algo target, right? There's nobody sitting there going, what, time to buy, right? There's nobody sitting there go, time to sell, right? It's all done by software algorithms. Doesn't mean if we get here, it stops, right? There are upper targets here, and that's where we kind of combine the two. We combine Elliott Wave with market structure, which you can't separate Elliott Wave from market structure or market structure from Elliott Wave, right? Elliott Wave is the OG of market structure. People don't like to give it that kind of credit, right? But right, you can't do one without the other. So let's push this all up here and see if we can dig in here. Okay, so we have context, right? So our idea is here, we've got a 1, we've got a 2, right? And this is all very nice Elliott, right? So does the market always follow perfect Elliott Wave? Absolutely not. Never what we're saying, right? It's a tool. If we can use it to our advantage, great. If it's not there, doesn't mean don't trade it, but you might, recognize it's not there, right? And often it'll be, in hindsight, right, you can usually always come back to it and get something that will stick to rules and guidelines. Sometimes not. But for the most part, right, we're just trying to say, okay, can I use it to my advantage here? Because they're very, very strong tendencies, and we have, 90 plus years of precedent. You can say, well, 2025, right, the age of AI and, algorithms, right, does any of this shit still work? I often find myself having to defend Elliott Wave, right? So, but you draw your own conclusions, right, based on what you see, right? You don't take my word or anyone's word for it. You look at the chart. Do you see 5s and 3s? If you don't, well, maybe this isn't the right live stream for you. If you do, let's get this, brighten this up a little bit. Maybe there's a few things you can add to your arsenal here that will help with your results. Okay, right. So there's my little intro promo speech. Let's go from the daily now to the 4 hour and see if we can pull anything out of this that's going to be helpful. Well, right off the bat, what do we see here, right? This is very common. We're stuck between two golden zones, right? It's just an algo fight, right? One's a seller, one's a buyer. We haven't challenged this yet. It was broken here, but as we now look at the range here from this high to this low, we got a golden up here, and if I do the same thing from this low to this high, I got a golden down here. So we're in a little fib fight. It's very, very common. Recognize that those that are behind this, they do not care which side wins, right? They just trade it until, they trade them until they fail, then they reverse it. So is there, God, I got to change your colors here a little bit. Let's go to something I can see here. Okay, from a 4, I'd go to a 1. I got a lot of colors here. What do we got on here? I'm going to pull those order blocks off just for a second. All right, so we can dig into the count, and then we'll bring the order blocks back. Okay, do we have, let's map this out for you. Now, this is a little, is that ideal, right, for a 1? No. 1, 2, 3, could you barely, Jesus, you can barely squeeze out that. Okay, so there's a good example. That is not the launch that you would hope to see, right, in a wave 1. It's just not, right? Is it clean, Elliott? No, it's not. Can we use it? Okay, 1, 2. It's really not there. It's just, I mean, just the reality, right? We've got a swing. We've got a swing, a bumpy one, and we get I get a higher low, and then now it shows up. Now I get a perfect impulse. I mean, textbook, right? Can't script it any better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get perfect impulse. So you have to backtrack and go, okay, am I going to compromise? Is it a force fit? It's a swing with a higher low retracement. I mean, I wouldn't. Don't expect Elliott Wave to be perfect through every swing series. It's not. Nothing is perfect in the markets. It's an imperfect animal. So can we use it now? You might highlight it and say, okay, well, if this count, oh fuck, that's not what I want. If this count gets in trouble, I might have to come back here and rethink this whole area. But right now, whether you're going to call, it almost doesn't. It defies any clarity. But I've got a swing and I got a retrace, and then I get a perfect impulse. Okay, right. So I can live with it. I'm not such a purist that I go, well, I'm sure as hell not calling that a 1. I don't know what else I would call it, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Even this is a little funky. You could probably do it this way as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Actually, I think I would do it that way. Steel swarm, right? Not that your work isn't good here, but just A, B, C, right? So it's internal. You'd have to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get that 3. Now, does it matter, right? Well, here's our pivot here. That's the kind of Elliottians may disagree on certain swing structure here, but at the end of the day, here's what I have. I have a 5 followed by a 3 that's technical. So you're not going to trade that because you don't like this over here? Use some common sense. All right, so is that deep for a 4? Yes, it is deep for a 4. Here's our invalidation, as he's pointing out here. If we sweep that 1, the proposed 1, even though it's sloppy, if we sweep that, right, the count is invalidated. And see, you can't look at that and go, well, this Elliott Wave shit doesn't work. Work is the wrong way to think of it, right? It's not whether it works. It's how you work with it. So I've got a candidate here for a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it's granted, that's very deep. You wouldn't want it that deep. Ideally, right, you'd rather pivot up here for a wave 4. A deeper wave 4 does a couple of things. It reduces the probability that we get a rip-roaring 5. So it would not be surprising that we'd pop into this golden zone up here and pivot. Right? It's just, again, the deeper the 4, statistically speaking, the deeper the 4, the less probability we have a rip-roaring 5. It would actually make you start to think of this and go, God, I'm going all the way to the golden here. Do I have to reconsider this as possibly a completed impulse? Could I work it that way to where this would be a 1, 2? Well, not yet, but it would be the consideration here. If we start to go deeper here, and if we sweep that high, then you'd have to look at this and go, well, certainly that would be a candidate for an alternate count that we completed up here. Geez, right? You'd have to move all of this over, put the 5 up here. It's possible. And then you're down for a 2. Well, that's not necessarily bad news, because remember what I just said was, if we're calling it a 4, the probability of a rip-roaring 5 is reduced if it holds as a 4. If we can find a better count here for a 1, 2, things just got a lot more bullish, because the next wave we'd be anticipating is the 3, which is not always, but again, statistically speaking, is our money wave, right? That's the biggest wave we're looking for, just like here, 1, 2, 3. 3 is the big wave. Well, for right now, let's just hold off, because we don't need to do it yet. Another swing down, and it's not only a question of, okay, could this be a 1, 2? Is if we start to threaten the lows down here, you're going to go into a WX, ABC, something deeper, which again, the macro backdrop here is so bullish for crypto. It makes you pause and go, fuck, Cardano is going to sell off? I mean, it's a player. Let's get rid of this. It's a player. I don't know why. Well, these are on right now. Let's get rid of that so I can see what's up there. It seems like Cardano should be doing more than it is. Yet here we sit, right? The price doesn't lie, right? Only people do. So, like it's falling apart, right? So it would make me be reluctant to add anything here unless I were to get something very, very bullish out of this. One, two. Oh, I don't want to get rid of that thing. I guess I'm stuck with that. I don't want that one. Let's use this one. If I were to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's get something like that. Now, I'm not anticipating that we're going to do this. I'm anticipating if I get if I can get an impulse, or it could be a diag, right? But just give me a 5 coming out of here. Well, now I'm going to start to feel a little bit better because it almost doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, or if it is the 4, it's just a deep 4. It doesn't matter. Really, if you think about it, if this is the 4, okay, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get the 5, right? My target would be here, the next golden. That'd be an easy target. If it's 1, 2, and this would be the 1 of 3, oh, it's even more bullish. Now I'd be anticipating a much higher target up here because this would be the 1, 6, 1, 8, right? If we go 1, 2, and I'm going to go, if we just map it out, if I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just for example's sake. Okay, well now this, am I going to put the 5 up here? Unlikely, right? We just looked at that, right? It's again. Could it do that? Of course, right? The market's under no obligation to do anything ever. It's going to do what it's going to do. We're just looking, going, okay, where can I find a location where I can use pattern recognition, all the things we talk about, algos, pattern recognition, market structure, to where I can find myself, at least in my mind, I believe I've got an edge. If I've got an edge, I'm willing to take the trade. If I don't have an edge, or I'm not sure, I'm not going to buy it just because, well, fuck, crypto's bullish. Let's just go with it. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do that, well, you might as well just dollar cost average. And, what's the point of TA? Just, set up a weekly buy and just buy it because you're bullish, right? And you believe that, 2 years from now, 3 years now, it's going to be much higher. A lot of people, that's how they approach it. We're trying to be more precise than that, which is the point of all this. 3, 4, maybe. Do you want to trade that now? Well, I'd need, let's see, I'm on a 30. I need some signs of aggression here. I don't have, the only fair value gap here has already been inverted and blown up here. So I have nothing particularly, well, here, let's do it this way. I mean, the easiest way to know whether you've got, let's go here, whether you've got muscle behind it, right? Those that can move the market is to look for imbalances, right? Well, we're coming out of a big one here. Okay, well, that's encouraging. We went deeper than I'd like to see, right? Everything here is deeper than you'd like. But the one thing I can see that would be a positive is that it looks like I got a 5 here. It's not gorgeous, but oh, you probably do that a couple different ways, right? We should just do something like this. Let's bring that down, put it in it. Go to yellow here. Let's take this up a degree. Okay, could this be the 4, right? So it would only work if we're doing this as a B, which is actually how I was counting it. So we got A, B, C into a B. Let me make that bigger. Oh, here, let's go to micro. Here, let's do this. Oh, here, okay, all right. So as he's counting it, right, and he's duly noted, right, that Steel Swarm's looking at this going, okay, well, it could be W, pardon me, W, how is he doing it? How are you doing it? How are you getting a W here? I'm going to put that aside. Whoops. I like it better. I'm going to put that, I'm going to hide that one. As a B. A, B, C. Now, does that mean I'm wrong or he's wrong? And no, that's not what I mean because he has both counts there. But we're coming down in a 5. If we're going to come out of here, well, I certainly want to see a fair value gap. I want to see imbalance, right? Now, okay, well, I'm reacting here. I've got resistance here. But even down to a 15, do I have any displacement here? Not really. Does that look like a great launch? It's tempting to go, fuck, let's just buy it. I always try to think of it this way, right? If you journal your trades, which of course, we would recommend that you do, and you took a snapshot of this, and if it's a loser, how are you going to justify why you took the trade? What's there technically that you would look back and this go, boy, I nailed that one? Or, well, I'd take that trade, 100 out of 100 times, right? Because of the setup. No. And I'm on a 15-minute, right? I would tell you, if you want to trade Elliott Wave, if you're a swing trader, 60 minutes and above. That's where it's most effective. That's where you see it. You're not changing your counts. You're still changing counts, but not as frequently. So you've got, here's the 5, right? The 5 to the top. Here's the A, B, and the C, right? So is it there a little complexity here? Requires some, knowledge here. We're expanding the B or up to the C. Yeah. It's not drop dead simple. It's not a simple zigzag. But okay, well, if we're gonna go, there's got to be signs of aggression here, right? Which is all a fair value gap is, right? It's just one side overwhelms the other. It's an imbalance, right? So the market's going to want to seek to rebalance that. But it also demonstrates that those that can move the market are in control, because retail can't do that. We can't do any of this. Only muscle, right? So it's a tell that muscle's involved. Do we have it? Well, we had it here. We haven't invalidated, or fully mitigated it, but I don't have any signs of life here. So, the temptation is here, just go, oh, fuck, buy it. Again, take a snapshot, put it in your journal. Why did you take the trade? Is there enough there? Because certainly one possibility here is this is going to end up being that, right? And it is going to be W, X, A, B, C into a Y. So you can't lock into a count and it's like, well, if it's that, or I'm riding that all the way. You have to adapt to what the market is doing. Which is, again, the whole point of this. If the count changes, your bias changes. I'll speak to that on Friday's video, just asinine comments I got last week. Okay, right, so we've got a contender down here, but no signs of strength, right? So in my book, I like it. It's on my watch list, but I'm not ready to go yet. And then immediately what your thought is, oh, shit, I don't want to miss it if it goes. Well, are you worried this is going to go vertical, right? That just out of nowhere we're just going to explode? Anything's possible, right? Well, the probability there seems pretty low, right? At the very least, I'd like to get a 5 out of the low. I don't even know that low's any good. It's technical, right? We're front run on the golden zone and out of an imbalance, a fair value gap, but there's nothing else. So I wait on that, right? It's my view. Okay, I'm doing what George always tells me. You take too long on the first ones. Okay, let's do. I'm going to do his again. So he wanted link USDT on Binance. So I think his work. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that worked. Steel Swarm. All right, so here we're back to a 60. Let's go out to the daily and get context. Okay, so here we go. Looking for 2 wave down. Okay, so link another, like, Jesus, why are we not going here? I'll take them out of log scale if I don't absolutely have to be there, right? Log distorts, right? And, keep in mind that if you're looking at something in log scale, you're like, well, the 3 is the shortest, right? Double check it in arithmetic because longer is longer. Okay, this looks clean, right? So a big extension, the 1. Again, right? Do we see a 5? You've got a contender here for this. Again, it would be a high class problem for this to go 1, 2, and now another 1. Right? I'm sure Steel Swarm sees this. Right? This candidate is it? Well, let's see. Did we clear that? I think we may have. No, we broke it. Right? So there's a little wick doing the damage there. You're gonna call that something other than a 5? Probably not. A, B, C into the low. So you've got another candidate here, which would be, again, a high-class problem. If I have to come back and go 1, 2, 1, 2, right, then this is a whole nother 1 that needs a full 3, right? It's, again, very, very bullish. If you're a bull, that's a high-class problem. Oh, I might have another 1, 2 in here that's going to need to seek 3, 4, and 5. Very bullish, right? So Link should, if we're going to have an alt season, right, Sure, memes are going to go with it, but utility, those that have an actual use case, revenue that will actually do something other than just be a gambling vehicle, should outperform over time. 1, 2. So let's just focus on the 1, 2 here. Now, interesting, we're getting gold in here, which is, it's if you're pulling for the completed impulse, let's do it this way. Let's go. Where are we? We'll just use this one. All right. So if you're pulling for, oh shit, I had to tweak my machine today. So give me one second to fix that. What do I want to do? I want to extend them. Yes, extend. Okay, there we go. All right, so long-winded way to get there. There's an impulse, A, B, C. Now, if I'm pulling from the low to the high, why would I do that? Because I'm anticipating a potential wave 2 here. Where's the highest probability location for a wave 2? Between the 50 and the golden zone. To front run here, well, look at the imbalances here, right? So you can understand why we might front run here. It makes sense, right? These are imbalances. Market comes back to mitigate those imbalances. Now, are we going here? Right? It looks like maybe 1, 2. We're going to go 3, 4, 5, something like that, as he's laid it out here for us. Now, just because, here, I'm going to pull some of this off. I'm only doing this steel swarm so I can get in there. Okay, all right, so this is his work, right? I've got a pivot here. I've got a swing low to a swing high. There's no reason why I wouldn't want to check and see if Al's involved here, right? And of course he is. So, but I wouldn't go 1, 2, 1, 2. What I've got here is confluence, right? Between the pivot here and the front run of the 50. And notice it's all happening within the imbalances here, within the fair value gaps. So you wouldn't think 1, 2, 3, 4 because we overlap the 1. So you would think 1, 2, 3, 4 as he's got it counted, 3 into the pivot here where I've got this dramatic confluence. Now, couldn't I just do this? Absolutely. Do I not have a golden corner? Yes, I do. It's tied to the wave 2 here, but that doesn't mean it's any less valid, right? It's just where we're interpreting it off of the fact that I've got a swing high that retraces exactly to the golden zone. And I'm getting reaction, right? So I got targets up here. I got multiple targets. I've got the target off the 50, the front run on the 50. That'll be the bigger one, right, off to the edge. And then I've got the second one. So I've got a nice little hot box up here, right, for algo targets. If this is going to be, if this is going to go 1, 2, and I'm going for a 3, well, I'm expecting the 3 to be up here. So hitting these targets, that's a great place to take a partial. Because if this is going to go, well, let's see. Let me change that color. If this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's get you up here. You can certainly see a case how this, let's take this up a degree. Oh, shit, come here. I want you up. Let's go to minuet. Okay. 1, 2. You can certainly see how this could be 1, 2, 3. So this is a great spot for a partial, right? So if you come out of this here and you're that far ahead, put some in your pocket, right? Don't get greedy like, oh, look where it could go. Bank a little bit, right? If it's going to really play good Elliott ball, which, is the whole point. It's those times where it just plays like you can't even believe how good it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? You got to reload here. Now you're getting into the 3 of the 3. That's your money ball right there, right? You get the 3 of the 3, hang on. And you have a clear target. And by the way, look where that target lines up with the median line. But that's year end. Right? Can you wait that long? That's what makes swing trading so hard for most people. They can't wait. There's so much impatience, right? It's a little bit of fear, like, oh God, I don't want to give it back. It's lack of conviction in your own technical skills and the TA itself, right? Well, I know 85% of the time. But I can't wait that long. And that's where you fuck yourself, because you need that big kick. You need those. And maybe you only get 2 or 3 out of the year, on a daily chart. But that will offset all the little losers, all the many, many losers you're going to have, because you will be wrong more than you're right. Period, period, period. Everyone, there is no, well, I shouldn't say it that way. Any retail trader, let's put it that way, is going to be wrong more than he's right. Period, period, period. Me included, absolutely. Said that since day one. I guarantee you I'm wrong more. I promise you I'm wrong more than I'm right. But the reason I can still be profitable is because when the hit comes, when you get one, it's like, oh my God, I can't even believe how good this is. That offsets, right? This is trading 101, right? Little losers, little winners, big winners, but you cannot have big losers. Right, you can't recover from it. It takes too long, right? And if you do it, you did it to yourself, right? There's only one reason a big loser happens. You didn't put a stop on it, right? You were afraid to take the stop. It's a self-inflicted wound, and it's almost impossible to recover, right? You let something like that get away from you, you're going to learn about waiting. Right, and all you had to do was just put a stop on it. Like, but people don't like to be wrong. It's just the reality of swing trading, right? That's what makes it so hard, right? You gotta be patient, right? That could be 3, 4, 5 months before it gets there. Can you wait that long? Most cannot. But see, the reason I emphasize this is so that you're not surprised. Oh, Jesus Christ, man! It took 3 weeks to get there. I just had to take profit. I couldn't wait any longer. And then it does that. That I promise you, that's worse for your psyche than taking the winner here. Oh yeah, you got a nice single here, but it was out of the park. And you can look at it and say, well, yeah, but I'm going to get in. I'm going to get in again. Well, are you? Are you sure about that? Because where would you reload? Right here, right? Can you reload that? Oops, what the hell? That's what I'm trying to do. Can you reload that? Well, you should, right? The answer should be absolutely, I can reload that. Right? Do we get a 3, 4, right? Is it in sync with what we're... Same process every time, same process. What's the mistake that 99% of people that fail in the markets make, right? They're not willing to take a stop, right? They don't want to be proven wrong, so that they let that happen. Okay, enough preaching. So there's Chainlink. God damn, see, I could take a week off and I'm very chatty. Okay, what else did he want? Link, I got that one. Bitcoin and ETH, we're going to get those done. Crypto Janice, thanks for the posts. Attila the Killer, he wants STX. Let's see what he's got. There's no chart, but he's heading back to Canada from San Diego. Oh, I didn't know he was Canadian. Okay, so let's go STX USDT. I don't know what exchange he's on. Let's try Coinbase. Stacks. All right, out to a daily. Okay, hang on one sec. I got to turn my AC up. Sorry, I'm back. Okay, STX. Okay, if you bring up this chart, now, do we need to be in log scale? Well, if we're here, no. If I want to get the full context, well, yeah, I don't want to ignore that. But if I'm looking here, right, again, log scale is a pain in the ass. If I don't need to be there from 45 to 90, it's double the range. Okay, well, right off the bat, is there any confusion here? Does the market move in 5s and 3s? You don't take my word for it. Look at your own chart. Do you see a 5 followed by a 3? Well, this, if anything, that looks like it's another 5, right? So it would make you think, wait a minute. 5, right? We know, right? Well, if you're practicing Elliott Wave, we're looking for 5s and 3s, but we know we begin and we end in 5s, right? It's inherent in the entire concept, right? So looks like you might have another 5 coming down here, which would make you think, wait, what? All right, well, so can we apply some Elliott Wave here that would make sense? Well, what's an option, right? It could be that this is just a 5 out of nowhere, right? I mean, again, doesn't that kind of make sense? Right? Does this not look like it's another 3? Just bring that down. Put it in green, gets you up here. We invert the fair value gap, right? It's a very, very strong sell signal, right? Because this was bullish, right? We come back. Now, actually, really, it was right here. That was the trade right there. So, okay, let's put some context on it. 1. Could that be 2? Let's go up a degree or 3. Let's go to blue here. All right, so you got an order block detector. Okay, well, that's useful. All right, so I got an order block below. Oh, that's Lex Algos, right? They do nice stuff. Got big order blocks up here, right? So we can anticipate resistance up here. What's the order block, right? It's the last up before we head down, right? It's demonstrating, right? Well, so this will be supply, right? It will also be resistance. Okay, so now I look and go, okay, right, where would I forecast, right? Do I have a candidate for this to be done? Oh, I'd probably just keep it simple. Just take that down. Right, we are getting pretty dramatic overlap here, so you'd have to do it as a series of 3s: ABC, 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 right? Force fit. I don't know that I'd say that. Is it perfect, Elliott? No. Is it a 5, 3, 5? Yes. Okay, so if I like this, I'm like, okay, I got a candidate here. Well, where would be my absolute? Everything's invalidated here, right? So the risk reward here is not bad. Right, if I'm longing down here, I'm not saying you should. Let's just consider it. Oh fuck. Let's bring this up. Right, no need to be. It's 1 tick, right? That's all you need. It's a tick, and that invalidates. So that's 5.7 to 1. What's wrong with it? Why would you not take it? Well, let's go down. Let's go to a 4. I kind of say that, but I mean it, as in, why would you not take the trade? Well, number one, this is already looking a little thin on volume, so I would go here. Do I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Maybe. Let's pull this off just for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. Bring this back. Right, there's no volume here. That's immediately concerns me. When I see a chart like that, right, shit, I don't know if it'd be any better on another exchange. Probably not. But this is thinly traded. So do you want to be trading here? That's a 4-hour, right? I can't get a decent amount of volume off that. Well, let's go back to the daily here. Well, this was a fair value gap now being inverted, right? So that would be bearish here. You see the reactions here, right? They're very, very consistent. That's no trade for me. One, I don't like the thin volume. 2, I'm not worried about missing it. If indeed this is 1 and that's 2 and we're going to go 3, 4, 5, okay, well, where do we know there's going to be resistance? We know it's going to be right here, right? There'll be resistance. Probably a big order block here as well. Actually, if I turn this back on, nope, we don't have one. I would consider this part of an order block, all going up. We go over here, right, up before we come down. So, and I would just use the extended, the push beyond. This is the up candle. Some would do it that way. I don't know that it really matters. But we go a little bit higher, so I would use the high there as well. So I've got resistance here, resistance here. Okay, well, so if this comes in and I get an impulse here, if I get an impulse here, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, now I'm getting interested, right? Because I can look to trade the 4 to the 5. Now, if I'm doing that, right, you're anticipating that the market's going to be strong enough, you're going to break the resistance. Some would tell you, well, I'll wait, right? I mean, that's not a bad thought as well, right? Because from 60 cents to 75 cents, okay, with leverage, yeah, you can make some money there. But the safer play would be, let's wait for this to complete. Break the resistance. So now I'm anticipating, right? So I've got an impulse, right? So I can come back here and go, yep, that was an ABC. It's a little bumpy down here, but I've got my 1. So what am I waiting for now? 2. What is this, right? If this is going to play, right, that's money. That's the money game right there. That's the one you're waiting for. Again, back to what makes swing trading so hard for most people. You got to wait through all of this. Oh, shit. Now, if you're in our belt system, right, you're going for your purple belt, that we will only let you trade 3s and C's deliberately, right? Because that's a skill set to build, right? We want to build that discipline. Now, you could trade, right? If you're going to trade here, you could trade that 3. You could trade that C. You could trade this as the 3. You could trade the 3 of the 3, but only 3s and C's. Right? Those are the most productive, right, profitable waves, right? So we're trying to build that discipline. That's why we do it that way. But is this not yet? Or don't get ahead of yourself, right? You put this into your mind's eye, and you're like, well, that's what's coming. Let the market prove it to you. What's the worry here, right? That fucks with people, right? Oh, Jesus, I didn't want to miss it. God, so I just went with it. Did you put a stop on it? Well, you know, I figured it, you know, I heard really good things about STX, right? So I didn't want to get stopped out. And those are the ingredients for big losers. Not just trades, but traders. If you let that happen to yourself, you did it to yourself. You are a big loser. Now, you can turn that around, right? But you're going to have to probably refund your account or you're a long-term hodler. But big losers allow for big losers. Not to be a smartass, but again, it's self-inflicted. Okay, what else we got? 1212. I'm with you on that, Attila. I think, right? 1. So we looked at it. 1, 2, 1. Right? Maybe that's the one. Maybe. What are we doing here? Crypto Janus. What are you giving me here? Copy. I'm not sure what he's giving me. Let's leave that one. What we got? Could you look at Tau? Yeah, man. Who's that? Yeah. I will. Right. I got a big list today, so I'll try to get to you guys. Those of you that are on the live stream, right, I try and get to you guys as well. I got about 7 or 8 from X. What do we lower right? Okay, so this is alts, right? Minus total market cap excluding Bitcoin, ETH, and Steve. So this is pure alts. Okay, so I do this not because volume's not important. I just clear up the chart real estate. Okay, now you know, right? Those of you that've been on a few live streams, Crypto Janus likes him some trend lines. So, okay, right? So I've got a potential Head and Shoulders. Oh, there could be a Wyckoff accumulation down here as well. Now this is tricky Elliott. There's no question about it. So per his count, let's use this one. I'm doing a diag, ABC, WXY, but it's a 3, ABC. So there's the 3. Now we're going into this very challenging, right? This takes some skill, right, to make this work. But we're going to go, how's he doing it? Oh, you're putting the 4 here, are you? Or are you giving me 2 counts? Okay, I see what you're doing. So he's going here. We're going to go WXY into the 4, overlapping the 1. So we know we're in a diag, right? We knew we were in a diag from the launch. WXY, AB, right? It's tricky, right? Nice work here, CryptoGenesis. Very well done, right? To get that little diag, AB, big ripping, right? It's an impulse, right? But we don't, right? It's not a 5. It's only a 5 in the C. So we get a 4. Now he's going A, B, C into the 5, right? So the 1 is complete per his count. Now, first thing we see is 5 down, which would make you go, wait a minute. Right? If this was the 1, okay, so I'm 5 down. Oh, it looks like I might have 5 up, right? So something's off, right? Per your application of Elliott Wave, right? So if this is an A, you're looking for a B. Right? Looks like an impulse. Doesn't look to me like there's any way there's any need to recount that. That's 5 down all day, right? That's a perfect impulse. So I've got a perfect impulse up, a perfect impulse down. Is there an alternate count here? Well, oh shit, we're on a 12-hour. Let's go to a 4. Oh, I'm going to do this just for my own brain. Get my colors. A little easier to see. Okay. Well, this is a little dicey already, right? We don't get a clean impulse, right? But you know, potentially more diag action. A. You're kind of forcing that to call it a one, call it an impulse. 1, 2. Yeah. I think that's too much. Maybe you get away with that. Let's put this. It ain't pretty, but possibly you get away with that. Right, this is feeding your own bias, right? That's what's happening here, right? You want this to be, it's not obvious, right? So can we make it work, right? You got to be very mindful. Am I tweaking this for my bias, right? Because it's what I want to see. It would kind of derail your thinking here, because if this is the 1, if this is the C of the 1, and we've got the 5 is in here, I'm looking for 3. I'm looking for an ABC. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have it in? Well, that would not be consistent with a B, right? We got another impulse. So we now potentially you could have an A. We could expand the B. What do we got coming off of that? It looks like that's 3. So he might be onto it here. Mixed signals. Now, okay, so we can't trade total 3E, right? But this has me. You know, Bitcoin did this, right? Where you're like, oh my God, it certainly looks like a perfect setup to be moving lower, and then out comes the raging impulse, right? Which we've just seen that took us to new all-time highs. So you got to be flexible here. This is okay. I'm going to watch this, but I'm not taking any action off of this. There's no action to take here. It's 5 down, right? That's clean as it can be. This is maybe. The alternate would be, right, is it an ABC? Come here. Can I work this as an A, a B, and then a C, which would fit the B? I should change that color. Possible. Right, now that's like, oh, it can't be a 5, right? So you're doing that to accommodate what you anticipate coming. So you can't lock into that. Okay, maybe it's a B. We don't know. If it sweeps this high up here, right, hitting that trend line from that channel. Oh no, that's a channel. Pardon me. That's a trend line he drew. What I would do is alert this right here, right? So okay, if that breaks, right, okay, then I'm going to lean a little heavier into the B here, and that we're expecting we're going to come down for the C. Well, if all of that's coming down, what's happening to the alts? Right. Alt season is put on hold. Is that what we're anticipating? Alt season not to happen, right? For a bigger sell-off here. So this just a lot of hurry up and wait. Of course, this count is subject to being relabeled, but as it is right now, that while that's the technical path that you might anticipate, it doesn't make sense with the macro backdrop, right? So I would hold off on taking any action off of that. Solana, again, Crypto Janice. Hang on one second. Okay. This is my partner giving me a question. All right, where was I? Solana. Let's do Solana. USDT. On Binance, right? So this should have his count, right? So again, Solana, it's just kind of the same thing. It's really surprising. I'm going to pull that off just so I can see a little bit better. Candidate for the C5. Okay, right. Again, I know it's much Franklin Templeton ETF date. Oh, that's interesting. Did I move that too far? That's not insignificant, of course. Often, though, the ETF when the ETF starts trading, you know, retail will plow in, right, thinking, oh, we're off to the moon. Wouldn't be surprising to see it come down first. What do institutions want? They want your Solana. How are they going to get it? They're going to take it down first. You kind of see this, what he's proposing here. If this is, I'll brighten that up. If that, oh shit. I'm trying to change the color, not delete it. If that's 5 down, same thing, right? I'm looking for 3 here. Well, wait a minute. We've got a new ETF hitting and we're going to go lower. Logically, it makes you go, whoa, wait, what? Whoa. What? That's an hourly. Let's step back to a 4. I'm going to pull those just so I can get in there a little bit more. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, of course, there will be an alternate on this. If this is the 5, right? And my guess is he's got it. He'll have it somewhere. Let's go back out to a daily. Oh shit, now this is going to get real messy. Let's do the major count. If indeed we completed something here. 1, 2. All right, we can do the subdivision as well, right? I've done this many times on the Friday bids. All right, so is this clean Elliott, right? This is as good as Elliott gets. Can't be much better than this, right? 1, 2, impulse 3. Now, is this the 4 that takes us to the 5, or is this the 4? That's a hard call, right? So if this was the 4 and that's the 5, then we would be anticipating, right? There's no knowing. We'd be anticipating based on what do they usually do? Anticipating more of a 3-wave deeper retracement, right? Just per the Elliott application. But that also doesn't. Wait a minute. We've got ETFs coming, right? Solana. We got all the macro background, right? That's very positive for crypto. Is all of a sudden we're going to go deeper? We're going to come down here? Doesn't quite make sense, right? So it would make you rethink this, going, okay, right? Is this going to be the 2? Right now, I'm in log scale. If I take it out, right? That's why I encourage you to take it out of log scale and just check yourself. Okay, where's the low? To the high. Could that be a 2? Right, the Elliott breaks down, right? It's not as clean here, but it's valid. We know it's valid from looking at it in log scale, right? We know we've got a good valid count here. 1, 2, perfect impulse. 4 into the 5, but that doesn't make sense, right? Is the correction. Not only that, it's too short in time. So the alternate would be we're thinking 3, A, B, C, which also, again, it implies we're coming down here. I think not, right? So I take it out of log scale and go, okay, that's deep enough, but it's so quick and abrupt, right? To correct the whole thing there. But you got to take it one set of swings at a time. So here, I guess it's easier to come back here. So if we're going to put, see, he hasn't labeled it here, right? Because it's unknown. If this completes the 5, what is this? The 2? Well, is that what we're going to have? Let's get... All right, we're going to have a 2 between the 23 and the 38. It's not like it's never happened. This is just Abby normal. And look how sharp. Makes me pause in there and think, okay, well, if I'm going to trade this one set of swings at a time, what's the most recent 5 I've got, right? So this is the pivot that seems to be the key to this. Oops. Okay, can I do it? Is that a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, it's valid. A retrace for a 2, if that's the 1, if, right, he unlabeled it, but if that's a 1 and we're coming down for a 2, okay, well, again, it's the same thing. Wait a minute, the Elliott count is implying, right, again, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, it's implying lower prices. But we just got the ETFs coming. Conundrum, right, it makes you pause. Now, of course, no trade is a trading decision. What's your alternate here? That you're gonna think, oh, okay, well, we had a very shallow 2 here, so we're gonna have a very shallow 2 here. 1, 2. No, that doesn't seem to work, right? So it'd be 1. You're per the count 1 A B C, right? Anywhere down here, right? That would probably get you here under the 50. Golden zone could be. Does that what? Why would that happen? Well, it kind of leaves you scratching your head, right? So when in doubt, my advice is always stay out. Now, if you're in, all right, maybe again have a stop somewhere, but it doesn't seem to make sense, does it? My view, right? So that's a pause for me. Let's get in there. I'm on a 4. Let's go to a 1. Right? I don't like to go below the 1 unless I'm digging out a count. Do I have a clean impulse here? We've got real choppy up here. Maybe you could thought 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, that's a 3. So you're gonna put the 5 here. I mean, you could probably tuck yourself into this. Oh shit. A, B, C into that 4. Let's take this down. Take this up. ABC into a B. And that looks impulsive. So what the account's implying here? It's exactly what he's got here. That this is likely to come, right? But now look what we're doing now, right? We're starting to rally. If you're not sure, well, let's put it this way. If you're journaling, right, and you're going to take a screenshot and put this in your journal, okay, I went long here. Based on what? Because you saw a little rally here on the 60-minute chart. Well, I figured that was the 2, right? So it had to be the 2. Well, number 1, it looks like a 5, doesn't it? If we get in there. 1, 2, oh shit, you can just label that right up, right? 1, 2, 3, probably the 4 into the 5, right? So we got you can even do it here. What? Remember, the B is the sucker play, right? That's for retail, right? That's the point of the B, right? This is too short. So retail thinks, oh, okay, time to buy it, right? Because it's going up. You're going to have to really go up here. We're just hitting the 50. That's why B's happen, right? For retail to get all excited and then get crushed. But again, the backdrop doesn't make sense, right? So don't force a trade because, well, God, I know it's October and everybody says we're going to have a big alt season, so I'm just going to buy it. Don't do that. Well, pardon me, do what you want, but think, right? Or maybe keep the size light. No leverage, right? Because it doesn't make sense. Does it have to make sense? Well, it should make sense in your mind, right? If you're going to put money at risk, it better make sense to you. I don't see it. I've got big imbalances down here that are untouched. That looks like A, B. And the only thing that I would add into that, right, as I was saying here before, these guys want your Solana. They want it. They will take it from you if you allow it to happen. So to take it lower, right, with that, think of the Bitcoin and the ETH ETFs, right? We didn't go vertical. In fact, there's been plenty of down, right? So be cautious here. Make the market prove it to you, right? If this, oh fuck, how could you? Let's see. All right, you could probably do it this way, right? And say, okay, well, I see the B's in here. We're going to go A, B, C, right? So let's do this with the B. Okay, so if you're just looking for some A, B, C, okay, right? So maybe we could do it that way. But again, it doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit. Just, I don't know, OJ's anniversary of that trial, what came up, and so it popped into my head. Okay, right, so my view is here, don't force, right? Just, you're not going to miss anything. If this is going to go, if it's going to go, right, there will be a retrace, right? There always is. All right, I probably spent too much time there. Okay, CryptoGenesis, I got, oh shit, was that the same one? Was XRP in there? That one, Solana and SUI are both, they're not making sense. Let's get his chart up here. Jeez, I probably bored you guys to death with that one, right? But it's a conundrum, right? My charts are over here. It's the same thing. Solana is not making sense to me. Here's how I have it. It's just for my own count. It looks to me like an X, like we've gone WX, right? Which doesn't make sense. Even this is a bumpy ride to get there. But I sure want, if we're going to go up here and challenge that, and again, not to detract, right? The idea is to look at their counts. Okay, where did I left off. XRP should be over here. You got to copy that. So let me get rid of this one so I don't load my sheet. XRP. Okay, another one that's really, we can't get legs here. So this one, I mentioned, this is my second biggest holding behind Bitcoin. So I watch this closely. I'm doing this again only for screen real estate. Now, this does play better in log scale. Oh shit. Oh man, there's so much here. Okay, let me get some of this out of here just so I can. What are you doing here? Oh, number of bars. I see. But probably a simple zigzag B try. Just a simple zigzag triangle zigzag. That's all it is. Okay, now that's a. Yeah, I know that's hard to make any sense of that. So let's do that here, and so we can see a little bit better. Interesting, right? We go 91, 90 here would be 91. So I'm going to take that one off and just push this one down. What's the key pivot here that most are keeping an eye on? Right here. All right, bulls, we don't want to see that get swept. I put it in a bigger. Let's do that, right? That would be, uh-oh. Believe me, I'm watching that closely. Okay, so there's a 12-hour. Let's go down to a 4. What is this? Well, when it starts to get this, like, what the... All right, as soon as that pops into my head, then I immediately start thinking triangle. Right? So could this be a triangle? Doesn't, right? We didn't get the launch here. So you'd have to back that off account and say, well, wait a minute, is the triangle here? All of it implying lower prices, right? So there's no good solution here. If this is A and we're doing B, we're still looking for the C, right? So we'd be looking for that to come down, as he's got it counted here. Holy shit, I can't get it. Oh, he's got too many of those. What is it? Looks like a triangle, right? So that implication is not that we're done. Well, let's go to a 2. Maybe A, B, C, D. Ugh, that's going to be your E. So that would give you WX. We still need a Y down here. don't even think that plays. You could probably do it here. So. All right, that wouldn't fly here because we would need an ABC, right? So maybe you could talk yourself into an A here, the B here, and the C here. As long as we stay above that invalidation point, this can fuss around here. ABC, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A, waiting for the B. Somewhere up here. It implies lower prices, right? And it's October. Doesn't make sense, does it? Right, but the one thing we can all agree on is that price dictates, right? Price is always right. We are usually wrong. So, okay, so it doesn't make sense to us. Well, that doesn't mean you have to take a trade, right? Well, fuck, it's up. I better buy it. Patience, right? It's you got to wait for your pitch, right? If it's not right, again, what's your edge here? What's the setup that you're going to take a screenshot and go, well, I see it clearly. You don't. There is no seeing that clearly. We got to break out of this, right? There's got to be a big impulse, right? We got to this, right? Just to get to but the old time high, right, was 350-ish. We can't fuck around in here. Let's go back to this 4, right? It's just more consolidation. Now you could make the case, right, and some will, that the more we consolidate here, the bigger the bang that's coming, right? The bigger the kick, right? As he's kind of showing you here, the bigger the kick, the more all of this consolidation, right? All of the consolidation, but no one says we couldn't do this. Invalidate. I'll be very sad, but again, don't force in here. You're not going to miss anything. If it comes, okay, there's plenty of time to get on, right? Would you want to buy it up here? You want to buy that? No. Right, if that's the 3 and this is just a long consolidating 4, there will be an impulse that will come out. Oh, there'll be a 5. I should say it that way. There will be an impulse that comes out of it. But right now, you're buying it because you want to, because you want it to go up. That's not a good reason. Let me keep going here. I'm going to be dead in the water here. How do I got? Okay, all right. So I got cryptogenesis one. So let's do ZEC. Hang on a second. I'm going to move because I got so many. What time is it? Oh, I'm all right. Okay, I got you guys requesting. Yeah, like that. What about a finished 2 and a flat? Yeah. Who's that? I can't tell. The chat is way off to my right, so it's hard for me to see those all the time. I have to remember to look over there. Okay, so is ZEC lower right, Zcash. Whoa, hello. Well, that's why we all love crypto, right? Because shit like that happens. Now, would you want to be in log scale there? Okay, all right, so let's get log scale. All right, now there's a pretty good example of what I was just talking about with Ripple, right? You get this long consolidation wedge and then bang. The big bang comes. Let me pull that off just for a second here. Okay, let's get some context here. Whew. Jesus, what are we doing with that? 1, 2. Impulse. Just out of curiosity, I want to see if Alan's involved. It's not super clean. Could we have a 5 there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we do. A, B. Let's just count it out here. What's the simplest thing I can see? Oh, this would have to be, let's put this up here. Let's put that in white here. See, I like that. Well, that wacky. Yeah, sometimes we'll go to a line chart, see if it's going to help me at all. So looking at the closes. Now, per Elliott, we cannot have a triangle in the second. So we don't want to think A, B, C, D, E as a 2, which... What's our workaround here? Well, we can't... Let's see. It may be he's trying to do this, right, per the A, B, C, D, E, but we couldn't then call this a 1. So let's consider an alternate here. One, 2. I would put the 2 down here. You'd have to put the 2 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Can't say I love it. It is at least technical. Well, let's go with it, right? Let's not be so stubborn about those damn rules and guidelines. See, this is all wick, right? And that's clearly liquidity. So if we go here, could you get the 1 in there? It's a judgment call. But after that, so let's, because the triangle doesn't play there. Okay, why not this? Let me pull that off. Well, let's measure it. Where's the highest probability location for a wave 3? I did not know this before I drew it. It just kind of looked like it. Right between the 125 or 1618 175. Right, 1, 2, boom. Does that mean we're done? No, but it means I get a little more conviction putting the 3 there. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, that's getting pretty bullish. Oh, I don't know why we're having this big rip. Somebody can probably figure that out. For all this long consolidation here, nicely done. You can't get that. You can't get that into that's a 3, right? So you're kind of stuck with that. It doesn't quite fly, right? So you might have to be doing this. Is that a problem? Well, we don't require the 4 to overlap the 1 anymore. So you'd be pulling here from this 2 through it. Right, again, we don't know that that's topped. For a wave 4, somewhere in here, right? Now you got big imbalances here. Oh, the one I like is because it gives me both of them. Inverted, then blown through. Big gaps down here, right? So if it, you can take that off, right? That's already hit that target. ABC. Right, then we're going to do this as a giant diag, possibly. We don't have a 4 yet, right? So we'll wait and see. We could do it this way. ABC. I would be very interested. Should we get here, right? Prior resistance becomes the support at the 38, right at the tail end of an imbalance there. Is this? That's right to a 50. Absolutely could put a set of median lines on this. Right up to, oh, Jesus, that's amazing, man. So right up to the upper edge at the 1618, right? So this good candidate here for that 4 to come back in here at the lower, right? If we're going to come back down to the upper parallel. All right, so a little work, right? Look at that massive volume. So a little work here, we get something here that looks pretty reasonable, right? A pushback. Now the 80%, right, it's already been realized. So it's a one-time use. Remember that, right? But you can frame the price action here. So could we go back to it? Well, you want to pay attention to what's on the left. All right, we'll have this, looks like easy liquidity targets, right? So I'd be mindful of those, right? The market will want to get up there and grab that, right? Do you think there's anyone who's short, right? Are they still there? Probably. Institutions will be. So there'll be liquidity up here. Nothing says we have to stop here, but if we start to come down, boy, that looks pretty juicy up here for this to go 4-5, right? So now you just got to wait, right? Here's the patience coming back. Oh, fuck, I got to wait for this. Is that worth waiting for? No, I'm not saying that's what's coming, right? But that's the potential of what's coming. Good one. Okay. Zcash. How am I doing on time? Okay, we're okay. Now, Bitcoin from CryptoJanice. Let's go back here. Bitcoin, I got to copy it. Oh, what happened? Copy, save. Let's get rid of this one so I don't overload my machine. All right, so this is higher left. Oh, top left. Okay. Again, just me doing this for the screen real estate. Okay. I have this as a WXY with Y truncated. Interesting. Okay. So WXY seems reasonable. Let's pull back up. Oh, give me a sec here. The fact is that yellow wave 1 looks more like an X irregular correction than a W. Oh, where is that? The yellow wave 1. Where is that? Oh, shit. Oh, I don't see it. All right, well, let's go back out. Let's go to an 8 here. Let me pull a little bit further. Okay, push this up here. So this is a 3, 4. That's a 1. W. This. Oh, is that what he's talking about? WXY. Well, there's a couple of different ways this is being counted. This could certainly be your pivot. You could make a case for an impulse here, but it's it's one of those spots where boy that could go either way. A, B, got the impulse here. This is good thinking, right? This would certainly be a very valid alternate, right? If you maybe this is his primary, right? But it'd be one you'd want to keep in the mix. Good A, B, C here, right? A, B, C here. This was the tricky part of this, and why I think myself included, we're kind of surprised by this. Is that this is such an ugly finish, right? Now, granted, it's just contraction, right? That would come, you hear me say all the time. The only thing we know with certainty in the markets is from that contraction comes expansion. So if we go X, let me change that color. Right, something was going to pop here, right? Something wicked will come, and so we get this massive explosion, right? It blows out all there were a number of bearish counts here that was suggesting down into the 90s, but boom. Right, counts get blown up, right, mine included. WXY, we truncate here. Oh, so here's this 2. Okay, so that's relative to this 1. Oh, you'll recall this was a golden right here, which is why this had all the ingredients for 1, 2, much lower, right, and then it gets blown out here, and you adjust. In fact, this was a good example. This is a good example of Andrew's trading principle number 4. Failure to make the mean. Remember this is, you can't forget this one, right? Does that have 80% odds of getting there? Yes, 80 is not 100. So failure to make trading principle number 4. Failure to make the median line sets up a move equal to or greater than the move that failed to get there. Right, there it is right in front of your face, right? Thank you, Dr. Andrews. Right, but right, if you were trading this short here thinking, oh, 1, 2, right, as I was thinking, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're down into the 90s, right? Oh. Promise you, everyone, right, with very few exceptions, is going to be wrong more than the right, period. You just have to accept it, right? So wrong, yeah. Was I short? No, but that's what I was anticipating. Okay. WXY into a 2, that's just 2 here. At a 38. It's unusually shallow. Oh, we locked it. Let's hide it. Okay, 1, 2. Well, what is this, right? It's certainly impulsive. Impulsive, right? How is it not a 1? So what's missing here, right? The depth of the retracement. Again, the market's not obligated to do this just because that's an impulse. Well, it has to go to the 50. Market's not obligated to do that. So what does it usually do? So we had new all-time highs, right? So what is that? This is people are like annoyed at me for saying this all the time. That is a break of structure up. What do we anticipate? Not what do we know? You hear me say this virtually every week. What do we anticipate? Not what do we know? What do we anticipate? Retrace, right? After a break of structure. Why? Why do we anticipate that? Where's liquidity? Right? We already swept the external liquidity. The market likes to go, let me rephrase that. The algorithms like to go from external to internal. Where's the internal liquidity? Right? It's not up here. We already got all the stops. They're up here. Grabbed, right? If you were short thinking, oh, 1, 2, oh, I know it's going down in the 90s. You're sorry. So sorry. You're wrong. Get used to it. Okay, but that's a break of structure. Now, nothing says we have to come very deep here, but you would anticipate some sort of retrace. So let's get in there and see how we're looking here. Well, already this is looking like, oh, that doesn't look right. So can we adjust this on the fly? Markets are having a monster day. Oof, I love when I look over, I see my Thinkorswim account. Shit, we are having a big day. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, right? It's not likely now to be turned into a 5. So what's the alternate there? Is there an alternate? Given how deep that's going, right? This could be a flat. Is that guaranteed to come? No. Let's pull that out of here. Right, that's already been swept, right? There's the sweep of the high. Could that be ABC and we're going to be done, right? And we're going to have a really shallow 2? Well, Bitcoin is notorious for very tricky 2s. You could do it here. It could be. And then you'd be thinking WX. Right, on the assumption, right, that that would just be so unusual to be that shallow for a 2. Doesn't mean it couldn't be. It's irregular. 1, 2. So the market has to prove itself, right? So how does it prove it, right? Are we gonna have this shallow of a 2? Well, I'm gonna need an impulse to come out of there. I'm certainly gonna need a 5. 1, 2, right? Do I have it? Doing? Does that look impulsive? All right, maybe 1, 2. Just label it up. You do the same thing I would do. Oh, no, well, it can't be an impulse, right? So now, oh, it must be a diag. Okay, it's a diag. Oh shit, I suppose you could do it here. ABC. BC, same, double down here. A, B, C could be. What we're thinking? You got a pretty strong case for an A, B, C here. Oh, where are we? All right, where's Al? Right, you got the first thing. You always got to check. Where is he? Did we already break him? Interesting, right? We paused there. Why? There's software's selling it. Not some guy at Goldman Sachs going, "Well, I got to sell it." Oh, that's just software doing its thing. That's the all-time high to the most recent low, right? It's just dominant to dominant. It looks like you probably had a sequence here. See how that works? There he is. Oops. That's Al, right? Third target. Now we're back. It's Al again. All right, we're going to do it again. I wouldn't bet against it. See how dominant this algo is. Looks like that's too deep, right? Sometimes you have to dig to find him. Wicks only, possibly. That's the high. We go here. It's not clean enough that I would lean on it. If that pivots, be looking for something lower. Now in a diag, you want to start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3, look at the 50, right? So something down here. It's probably an order block in here. Now we may just blow through this right now while I'm on this chart. It looks like we could. Where are we at? 124. So what are you thinking here, right? I would still be thinking, okay, if this is going to be the 2, oh, it's just so abnormal, so unusual. 1, 2, that's going to be the 2. You know, if you're long Bitcoin, right, you're like, sure, why not? Go. Don't assume that's going to break, right? And be sure you get a close above, right? The algo will stay with it until there's a close above, right? We've learned that over time. All right, a wick won't do it, right? It's got to be a close above to kill the algo, right? So, and that's dominant to dominant. So what that would mean is that you would have lost any algo resistance from the high, right? For bulls, that's good news. How do you get him? How does he come back, right? If we go up here, right, he'll be there, right? He's always there, always, right? It's the easiest thing to do is forget that he's there, right? So there's that. 2, 3, 4. For the 5. Of course, you can't eliminate the possibility this is ABC, right? And we're going to do a W, X, and then we're going to come down for the Y, right? Again, why would that happen? Well, we got enough crazy shit going on. We wouldn't need much of a spark, right, to create a little bit of a risk-off moment, but not today, it doesn't look like. So you want to chase that? Well, you can make a case, right? You know, discount premium. Are you buying in the premium? Why are you buying it, right? If you take a snapshot now and you look back at that, are you going to say, "Well, I bought it because it was right in the middle of the golden zone"? Is that right? That's not a practice you want to maintain. Trying, right? There's the resistance. It will always be there, right? So don't say, "Oh, it's going to break. It's going to break." Right? Don't be careful of that, right? Don't make assumptions in the market, right? It will let the market show you. It will show you. Is this ABC? Could be, right? ABC, W, X, Y. We're coming down, right? Now, if you're a bull, right, and you're looking for long-term accumulation, that I wouldn't be sad about that because there'd be an opportunity to buy it down here. I wouldn't buy this. That's way too shallow to have any conviction, because I'd be worried the whole time. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Right. But you got to make decisions based on what you're comfortable with. That I wouldn't do that. But that's just me, right? It's not about replicating what I do. We're trying to teach a methodology, right? If you are comfortable taking that, would you take it there? Right? Why? Why are you worried? Oh, is it going to go to the moon? You think there might be a little resistance there? If we get up there, what will that be? Another break of structure, right? So you could see, oh, if it was going to do it, if we're going to do this, right, that might set up the 4. Assuming we clear here. Oh, maybe I can get up here and get that sweep of that high because there'll be liquidity here. Just like it was here. Same thing over and over. Boss up, right? Don't buy that. That's. I know there are going to be times where it's going to go right, and you're going to be like, shit, I knew I should have bought that, right? But over time, right, you have to think of over 100 trades that you'll destroy your account if you buy those. That's what the institutions want you to do. Buy it, buy it. Come on, retail, buy it. Come on, retail. Come on, retail. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it. Come on. You know, you're just going to the moon. You know you want to, right? Everybody on X told you it's going to the moon. Go ahead and buy it. They want your Bitcoin. Don't give it to them. Modern Picasso. What do we got here? Let's see. So this is the one where he had trouble with it, but I can see his count. I got an image. Oh, I got an AMD. But I'll tell you what, this. Yeah, I have a pretty good piece of this. I was a little bit lucky there. I had an option trade. I got assigned, right? I got put long 100 shares and then boom. So it's been a good week for me. Okay, so we're on a weekly. Okay, so yeah, unusual. We're going to truncate here on the 4. Okay, so Modern giving us an update here. I did hedge it. Right? I sold some calls up here because I didn't want to. That's such a big gap, right? The market, is going to leave it there. Let's come back here. God, Modern, why so small on the counts? Let's get up Minuet. Let's get that. Oh shit. Let's get this so we can see them. Micro. Okay, all right. So now this is a weekly. Let's go to Minuet on that. We'll go with blue. Okay, right. So from the launch, right? Again, here we go, right? It's unusually shallow. Now, are we in log scale? Right, yeah. Do you have to be in log scale? Yeah, we have to be in log scale, right? The range is too high, right? So we have to be there. 1, 2, 3. Well, this is uncharacteristically shallow for a 2. But that's a good example, right? It's like, oh, okay. So this is a good example, actually a great example. Oh shit! God, how could that be the 2? I didn't. Right, but if you were patient, did you get another shot at it? Get that right on there. You probably got an order block sitting right here. Yes, right. You got another shot at it. Got a new high. Yeah, just taking a peek over at the futures. This is look how abnormal this is. Yet it's still very valid. Elliott, very shallow too. Perfect impulse, right? Rip roaring impulse up to the 3. Now you're getting news here. This altered the arc of this. Let's see if I push this off just a little bit. Now what are we doing right up here? Well, 2 things, right? Just you should see it immediately. It should be so registered in your brain that you're like, oh my God, I can't not see it. All right, what do we get up here? What do we anticipate? Not what do we know, what do we anticipate? Retrace. Who buys that? Retail. All right, so are we going to do the same thing right here? Are we not doing the same thing? It's not a question. We are doing it, right? We don't have a close above yet, but what would you anticipate? Let's go to the daily. 1, 2, 3, 4, all right, up to the 5. You probably label that. God damn, it's probably another very shallow. Take that down. A very shallow 2 again. Are we not? Remember, what's so critical to good Elliott? Well, let's do it at the top. Is a good channel. Now, this, you're going to have to double that. Get you on there. Okay, right. I had to widen the channel. The 2 is so unusually shallow. But okay, so does that look like that maybe the 5? Well, okay, now look at the ingredients here. What would make you think you might have topped? Break a structure. Just saying, right? I'm not saying it's topping. I'm not saying it has to come down. I'm just saying if you're watching AMD, what are you hoping is about to happen? Well, I got to take this all the way up here. You want to participate in this? Well, you're like, oh, yeah, please break and retest. Right? Come on. I got an order block here. So, okay, 5. Guess we can pull these out here just to clear this up, right? But you could also do this. Right? Oh, am I in log scale? Oh, I'd have to use the other one, right? You get the idea of the channel here. So, okay, right, at some point here, we'd be looking for some sort of a retrace. I'm not saying it couldn't do this first. Right? I'm not saying that, right? But right there, that's not a great place to buy it. Yes, you're risking this going without you. Again, over 100 trades. It's either discipline or it's not. You don't make exceptions. Well, it's AMD, and that's what's going on with ChatGPT. Well, so I'm going to buy the all-time high. You either do it or you don't, right? It's either a rule or you improvise accordingly. You don't have rules, right? You either have a rule or you don't. I don't buy breakouts. It's a rule. Why? Why is that a rule? Right? Because I read it in a book? No, because I lost enough money doing it that it became a very hard rule. I'm not saying that has to be your rule, but I'm saying if it's what we would teach you. Right? If you're studying our material, we would say, no, don't buy that. Wait. Why would you not wait? Well, I didn't want to miss it. Well, you make a case, right, that you missed it long ago. But it would have been very hard to trade this, right? You wouldn't have thought the 2 was in. 4, okay, is that the 3? Well, again, it's always easy to measure. How did we do here? I don't think we got 618, right? You just got barely past the 1. Let's go out of log scale. Oh, lo and behold. Out of log scale, where's the high probability for a wave 3? Looks to me like we did it right here, and then we went A, B, C into the 4. Oops. Right, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Oh, and by the way, just to make the point, I know I'm annoying about this, but I'm trying to build this so you don't do it. What is that? Think we might do the same thing here? There's no guarantee. Do you have rules or do you not? Do you just wing it day to day? Thanks for that, Modern. Oh shit. Okay, how am I doing? Okay, I'm good. That's everybody. Did I get everybody? Oh shit. Steel Swarm is giving me another one. Algo. Let's see what Algo is up to. Right. Good one, Modern. Very good. Nice work on that. Modern's been with us forever. He's pay attention to what he posts. Okay, copy, save. What do we got? Okay, we're going to 1 hour, right? It's okay. But I'm just going to hide this for a second. Now, 1 hour. Okay, great. But I don't have any big picture context, right? So I got to go out to it daily. Why? What are we thinking here? God, did we not already do this? Maybe. Well, we probably, right, always good to probably have to do this. All right, so we're thinking diag. Oh, pardon me. We could probably do this. The fuck? Can we get it? Probably do a diag 1 there. This could be 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't know that matters, right? So because this is close enough, right down here. This could be 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, again, that's a high class problem, right? If I have to come back to another 1, 2 because it's so bullish, I'll live with that. Okay, so now see, this is maybe a good example of why you're looking at this at the 60-minute. You're like, oh God, look at all. But put it into context. It's just a little fart down here. There's nothing, right? We go over here, put it in log scale, and you're thinking, oh God, look at all this action I got here, right? You got to get context, right? It's very easy to be fooled by this. Let's get that. That moves when we change time frames. So you're thinking, wow, this thing's really moving. But you go here and wait a minute, are you sure about that? Right? That's what that looks like? Okay, so I'm gonna pull that one off. Let's see. Did we get? This is this Al here. Do we have a golden? Maybe. We do. That should surprise exactly 0 people. So we get a golden corner pocket right here. Golden corner, which means we have 80% probability of getting there. Reminder, 80 is not 100. 80 is 80. All right, so can we do that? Are the ingredients there? I don't know that you can get a 5 in that. So I'm gonna relabel that for you. Steel. I just, maybe you see it differently, but this is what my eye sees. You have to go A, B, C to finish that. It doesn't matter, right? I don't know that it matters, right? It's a 3 into a 2 into a golden, with a golden corner. All right, so I get a golden corner pocket, right? It's my signature trade. All right, so reasonable target. Well, that would be shallow. Where are we looking for it? That's his golden from the high, right? So we can't forget that that's up there, right? So good of him to put it up there, right? So you don't forget, because it's easy to go, oh fuck, I'm so bullish, right? I forgot where the resistance is. But okay, do we have a launch here? Well, now, okay, let's go down to the 60 and say, okay, is there enough here coming out of that corner for this to be a Y? Oh shit, probably have to come over one. No, that probably doesn't matter. Could be here. 3, 4. Okay, let's change that color. From one golden. Well, clearly, right, you can see in here, let's dig in there. Okay, so we got a big, well, here it's easier to just put the indicator out rather than me draw a bunch of them. There we are. Oh, okay, so we get an inverted, right? So here it's that's really the trade, right? So we're coming back to it. Didn't get completely mitigated, but look at the massive imbalance down here. That's how we know, right? That's muscle. That's not retail. That's institutions doing that. Okay, into the 4, up to the 5. Is that the 1, right? Perfectly valid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's close enough. That's kind of wonky correction. That's definitely, you'd have to go A, B, C, because that's a 5 coming down there. So you'd have to do it that way. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a 5 in there, so I'd have to do it that way. Into the 4. Let's go sub. Okay, good 5. So what do we do on the retrace? Well, we go right to the 50 to the tick, right into that fair value gap. 50 to the tick, right? So again, it's not always going to be the golden zone, right? 50 is where the algo fires. There we go. There's a 4. We're looking up for that 5. Now, what are we anticipating here? Okay, it already should have registered in your mind, right? What will that be? Break structure, right? So what would we anticipate if we go up here and get this 5? Now, just because it's there, right? It doesn't mean that we go a tick beyond it and do this, right? It just means that you wouldn't be anticipating this to just go nonstop. Because do you think there's any liquidity up there? I mean, how many times have we been up there? Yes, there's a truckload of liquidity there. You think the algos might want to go grab some of that? External to internal, right? This is internal. Where's the next target? External. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have the 4? We don't quite have it yet. All we got is a ripping 3. Whoops. 1, 2. God, you guys use such tiny little counts. What is that? Tiniest? That's minuscule. 1, 2, 3. Waiting for the 4. We've broken the 65, so he's out. All right, so good sign for a bull. We're coming right into this imbalance here. It's still there because this wick, right? We don't get a close outside of it, so the software will keep it there until you get a close outside, then it'll pull it off. Here's the mitigated, or excuse me, inverted. Came back to it. There's another one down here. All right, does that feel like a good 3? 200 could be going here. Could be going 2618. Again, where they usually go. Right, that would be extreme for the 3, waiting for the 4. Right, you got good channeling here. You got there's nothing not to like here. Do you want to buy this? Well, what's going up? I got to buy that. I would not suggest that, right? So again, we're back to discipline. Do you have rules, and can you be patient, right? So, oh fuck, look how good that is. Oh, well, you can wait for that, because where's your target here? See, if this is 1, and if that's 2, let's pull back. If that's 2, pinging off the 50 to the tick, right? Do you think the algos are right? You think human beings are that precise? No. Right? Only software is that precise. So 1, 2, is that it? Is that my 2? Certainly could be. Looks like you'd have W, X, Y here. A, B, C. Oh fuck. Oh, actually, that's far enough. You could probably do that as a flat. It almost doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, what do I got here? I've got a 3. 3. Now I'm going. If this is the 1 and we complete a 5 here, are you thinking that's the 3? No, right? Of course not, right? That would be the 1 of the 3. So that's good news, right? That's what you want. Because, again, right, break of structure, go up and get the 5. Maybe you get up here and you run into Al up here, and you get up here, you can kind of see how this could play. Oh, 1, right? Break of structure. Oh, it's still going. I thought I was not. Yeah. Right. 2, right? Patience pays. 3. Now, do I know that's coming? No. Remember saying before, right? There are times when it will be so accurate, you almost can't believe it. That is what you're trading for. That's why you go through all of this to get those. You know, I won't say that they're rare, but they're not what you should expect every time you get into the market. But those times when it's like, oh my God, 5-3, 5-3, boom, right? This offsets all the little times you get stopped out in here. But you have to be patient to let that play. And you know where it's likely to go. You get the targets, right? If this is 1, and if that's 2, well, I know, where do they usually go? Wouldn't that be a reasonable target? What again, I don't have any of this, but you can kind of tee that up and go, this is why you wait. This is why patience pays, right? Can I get that? 7-1. It's real deal, right? This isn't a meme coin. There's application, use case. This is the potential there. Yeah, definitely. What else could I maybe it takes a little longer. Right, the median lines give you kind of a time reference. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That's what did I just do? I just did something. That's his channel. Right, oh God. Maybe it'll, right? You don't think it would sweep the break of structure here and then retrace into a, could that be, oh God, you don't think it would do a golden there, do you? No, so you'd have golden. Do you see what you'd have here? Golden corner followed by golden corner with an algo pop here off the 50, right? You know, I don't pull this out of my ass, right? It's all from studying the market, right? Applying, Elliott's work from the 1930s. Amazing that it's still relevant, right? That's why people spit on it, or shit on it. Oh yeah, fuck the Elliott Wave. Fuck, what are you, 1932? You tell me what you see. Oh shit. Okay, god damn it. I fucked up here. All right, I got let me try and get to my X people. Hang on, I gotta go to that list. God, the market is still putting in new highs. Okay, hang on, I got a big list of X here. Oh, I fucked up. I went too far. Too much talk. Okay. Let me see how fast I can do this. So let me try and do a little speed analysis here. BAS. Oh, stocks here. Oops. This is on the German exchange. Jesus, where are you? BAS. Well, first I got to find it. What is it? BASF. BASF. Oh, fuck. BASF, is it going to show up? Nope, that's not it. He says BAS. I'm trying to find it, guys. I don't see it. Oh, maybe I go here. Is that it? I don't know what that is. Well, here, fuck. That's got to be it. Okay, let's go to daily. Oh, Jesus, what a shit show that is. Oof. God, why would you even want that? Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not positive I've got the right thing here, but I think I might. That's no trade. What would you even be thinking there? I guess here you'd have something. All right, so maybe we work with it out here on a weekly. Let's try a 3-day. Okay, well we can certainly see that's pretty strong consolidation. Okay, so are we technical? All right, so what's the obvious thing? Whoops. Let's pull from this low to the high. This looks like we're too deep here. That's the Great Recession, COVID lows. Wow, that's pretty extreme here. All right, so what if I get in right on those? Have we swept that low? We haven't. Interesting, right? They haven't gotten that yet. Well, they're sweeping the highs. Oh shit, man, you can't trade that. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. You'd have no edge here, right? So if I just pull a volume profile here, you've got no edge there. You're sitting right at the point of control, which is you never want to trade the point of control, right? You have no idea which way that's going to go, right? That's a target, not a place to enter. Up here, down here, right? Those are entry, right? Low, low, low. You can see what they're doing here. This is liquidity sweep, right? So all through here. I'm sorry, man. Well, number one, I'm not sure I've got the right thing, but if I do, you don't want to trade that. And if you're in it, you're likely, you need to have a stop somewhere down. You don't want to be right under the pivot, right? Because then you're a target. There's nothing to say there, right? You're just gonna have to wait that one out. Okay, Zim, whoever posted that, I apologize if that's. Oh, what the fuck am I doing with Zim? Okay, Zim integrated shipping. Shit, see, I don't know what they want here. That's got to be it. Okay, let's go to a daily on Zim. Let me get this. I'll put this in my color palette here. That's not a whole lot better. Well, I've got the makings of an impulse here. It looks like you got through that. Let's do, looks like you got away with that as an impulse. Boy, that's a shit show of a finish. But let's keep it simple. I'm going to do that. Boy, that is such a... That's such a bad finish. I'm trying to think how I can get this. I can't get the 4 over here. I don't think there's a triangle that flies in there. Now let's just go with what's doesn't matter. Okay, so first question would be, why does it stop here? Is that Al? Oops. Get you down here. Not quite, right? So we got, looks like a little order block here. Maybe that's part of it. Why do we stop here? Right? I mean, just logical. Wouldn't you be curious? What do you know? Right, there's Al, right? So we're going to get him again. It looks like this is maybe too deep. Oops. Get on there. Too deep. You're holding the 707, but that's not what you want, right? You lost the algo. Could be you got buy sell side won it. They did. All right, so it's just this back and forth, right? So there he is again. There's his target. Already got that. So sell side took that. So we still have this down here. So this is already met its target. So that can come off. This is, we don't have him here. You like how I personalized him, gave him a name and a gender. So, okay, right, so what are we doing here? Doesn't look like an impulse. I wouldn't go 1-2. Oh, fuck. Let me just do that. I'd probably do this. That's a little bumpy, but something like this. A, B, C. I got a 5 here, right? So I got to account for that. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the B for the, so I've got a C, so I can make that C work, make that 5 work. So I've got a W. Could this be 1, 2? It's a force fit. It looks more like it's an X. All right, and we just looked at that as that's the algo here. So A, B, I'd be interested down here. It's not making me want to jump on it. Again, same question. If you took a snapshot of that, put that in your trade journal, what is your edge here? Well, at least you're buying in the discount. You can make that case. You know, we're looking to finish, if this is going to be A, B, 1, 2, or it looks like that has potential to go lower. So if we label this up, maybe you've got some sort of A, B, C going in here. That's, you know, loosely, you know, because I'm kind of hurrying here. Could it be here? Unlikely. Right? So wouldn't you anticipate we're going to come down here a little bit lower? Where's the obvious target for liquidity? Right here. And you got an order block sitting right there. That's not been, it's been tapped, right? So there's no, the market doesn't need to come down here. Algo kicked right out of the order block. So if that's me, I'm going to wait for this to come down here, and I'm going to look for a reaction. I want to see a fair value gap. I want to see aggression, right? It's what a fair value gap is showing you. Like, oh, muscle's in. Oh, okay, I'll take that one. Looking for that. Okay, Nike. NKE, I think it is. Nike. Okay, let's pull back on that. Whoosh. Well, right off the bat, I kind of see this, right? Well, okay, why not? 1, 2, 3. Oh, did we get it? I think we did. Oh, annoying. Well, that's a 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B. I'm going to have to do a combo there. We might. Oh, let's go to a 3-day here and get some perspective. The next earnings, oh shit, is that for? I'm on a 3-day. Whoops. Not till November 25th. Okay, well, any question about the you know, the short-term trend? Let's go to the daily. Not much question. Now, we've got a good reaction here. You're going to have to do this. I think you're going to have to do it here for the Elliott heads. A, B, C, into that X. Well, we're kind of moving fast here, but A, B. So you could finish that here as A, B. It's a little sloppy, but again, I'm not going to do super detailed analysis, right? Just I'm running out of time. Okay, so could be an impulse. Well, it's not gorgeous. What would the play be, right? Okay, I'm up here. I've hit some resistance up here. I'll wait for this to come back down. If indeed we're going to finish here. Jeez, I don't even like that, right? That looks like it's another ABC. Oh, with more time, I'd probably do this a little bit differently, but this actually looks like we got an ABC here to finish it. It might be in WXYXZ. I'm not going to get stuck on it. Okay, so the question would be, okay, how are we looking for a buy? Excuse me. 1, 2, 3. Well, if it is, I got a big gap down here that the market's going to want to fill. Okay, come fill it. The partial won't. You're going to want to see that come down but lower. You got the inverse here. So anywhere down here looks of interest. You can go all the way 707. Let it come down. If you're going to lean impulsive here, why would you not think that? It's not particularly juicy right there. This is not the cleanest launch. But the big gap, right? That was last earnings, right? They killed it. So see, look what happens here. Earnings, big blast, right? Leave a huge gap. Why are we down? The market's screaming higher today. Almost everything's up. Why? It's not illogical. Wait a minute. I get this big pop off of earnings. Why am I down? What, did something get revealed? Some new bit of information? Remember, there are forces in the market that are trying to get you out, right? So if they're bullish long term, they're going to bring it down, right? That's what they do, right? They'll take it down to get you out of the market and get your equity. Remember that, right? They will take it down and go underwater just to get you on the wrong side, to get you stopped out of it, so they can get long down here, and then you're going to see it go out. You better be prepared to go again, right? If it comes down here, you better be prepared, right, for that to go, right? If it's going to play good Elliott, right? You don't know that it's going to, but see, it doesn't make sense. Like, why is this going down right after this big gap? Well, number one, market likes to fill that gap, but you have gaps all over the place and with equities because of the nature of the way they open. So I'd be looking down here for a buy. Okay, so there's that one. Shit. Whew, I'm going to have to go fast here. PepsiCo. Let's see what they're doing. Well, looks like the same kind of thing, actually. Okay. What would the first thing you'd be thinking? Is that Al? Is that Al? Sure looks like it. Oh, keep it simple, right? So you're looking for a series. Can we go again? Right, that's what they'll be looking for. Right? The algo, right? They've coded. Looks like that's just wicks only. 1, 2. Now let's get in there. Two, 3, 4, 5. A, B. Looks like that's ABC. It's just too weird, right? A little pump, right? That's for retail. I don't mean to. I'm retail, right? We're all retail, right? But that's that pump wick, right? You know, just be mindful of that, right? If that's 5, right? It's not ripe yet, right? If that's the 5, right? Now. That's impulsive, right? So there's almost no separation here. It's just a vertical, but good God, what? Makes me think, why? Is that Al again? Certainly could be. Kind of surprising they didn't get that, but there's that fair value gap. Already got it. Shit. Okay, right. So is that a good? That's not a great looking 3. What do we want here? We want something like this. Do we get it? No. You want to take that trade? I'm not saying don't, but I'd want to see some kick up here. You got to clear all of these imbalances. I'd like for that. And again, same thing. Okay, here's good, right? It's technical down here. Okay, that doesn't mean buy it here. Let the market show you. Okay, kick, right? Because what are we after? This wave, the third. 1, 2. I want that one. I want the third of the third, right? That's Moneyball. Okay, let me keep going. Target. God, I should probably do them all like this. It'll be over in 45 minutes. Do I need to be in log scale? Yes. Could that be Al again? God, wouldn't that be crazy? That's an log, right? Broken is broken, right? So that is a break. That's a close below. Yes, it is, right? So it makes me think, right? The other side got it. Right, remember, it's always on both sides. Oops. Right, that's what most people forget. Always on the other side as well. Target's down here. Let's clean that up. Front run, did they sweep the liquidity here? Do you think this was engineered liquidity? Very likely. Got a big gap here. So let's just keep it simple. Now you've lost the algo here, right? Lost him. So you don't have him out on the daily, you know, chopping wood for you. So you're going to have to wait. You got to wait for him to come back, right? He'll be there. That's what you're waiting for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You're kind of, but you can't buy that. Well, let me rephrase that. I would caution you against buying. Oh, well, because see, it's easy to look at that and think, oh shit, look what happened. Oh, they swept the liquidity. Did they? Yes. But that doesn't mean buy it, because the market has to show it to you, right? Because again, I've done this many times. We could do this. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, fuck. That's it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. Oh no. Oh, that's it for sure. Oh, I can feel it. It's coming. It's coming. Right? You can just keep doing that and keep doing that until eventually, right? There'll be one of these, right? But you can't. It's got to show it to you. You can't. If you try to anticipate it, you're just. The risk is too high. You don't have anything to confirm the low. Yes, that's the first ingredient. Yeah, we want to see a sweep of liquidity. Yes, but now I need to see these, right? I need to see imbalances. I need to see that. Show me there's muscle coming in. Otherwise, you just, well, I think it's a low. Right? I don't know. They swept the liquidity. Let's take it. There's got to be more of confirmation, because it could just roll over and roll over and roll over. Right? That's what's the reality of it. Oh, there's probably a bunch of other measured moves in here. But let me keep moving. That's target. Deft. Oh, shit. Deft? I don't know what Deft is. Deft. Deft Technologies. Okay, let's go to daily. Do I need to be in log scale? Do I? Yeah, I guess I do. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. All right, so I got to be in log scale. Which... oh, that's a bit weird. Okay. I guess this is my low here. Let's get in here. What the hell happened here? Guess it wasn't a lot of volume to get started. Okay, so what are we doing here? Ooh, that's kind of bizarre. Okay, well here's a good example. Down here, right? You're telling me they couldn't get that liquidity? Really? Very, very bullish sign. But look, we get all the. Oh, if I don't know why that keeps showing up there. I don't want those on there. You probably have to zoom in on this. Well, that looks like a pretty good top. Whatever. So if I were going to work backwards, come here. I want to work backwards on this. God damn it. Come here. Looks like I got a 5 that gets me to a top. Here's another one. Right? Look, that's always the telltale sign, right? We want to look for. Let me add a few more here. Oh, I need more than that. Let's get 15. Is that going to get them? Oh, what I'm trying to get is right here. Right, that, right? So that's what I was trying to show you before. Okay. Do we have signs of any aggression? Right here we do. I've got a lot of them on there. But that's what you want to see. Oh, muscles in. Oh, look where we go. Now, again, not to be annoying about this, but what's that? What do we anticipate? No, not what do we know. What do we anticipate? Retrace. So if this get just starting here, it looks like I got an ABC already underway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not the prettiest, but oh, would you be thinking I'm done here? Right? Seriously, right? You're 1, 2. No, probably not. All right, that's quite a rip roaring impulse off of the lows down here. Holy shit, that's a monster. Well, you'd certainly want to be conscious of, okay, well, where could this fall if it's going to come down? This would be, God damn, that's got to be your three. That's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof. Let's see if that would take a little time to work that out. That's got to be a 3, 4 there. It looks like it ends as a diag. This unusual price action. Well, you're going to be a buyer or seller there. Now you could say, well, pivot to pivot. Where's Al? Get you right on it. What I see up here is consolidation. Now, from that, something wicked will come. Is it up? Well, that's a big assumption to make, right? It's considering how far we've gone, right? Would that be, if we think about risk reward, discount premium, right? You want to be a buyer up here? I'm not saying that's not going higher, but I'd be much more interested at least to come down a little bit lower, something like challenge this pivot. It's a long way down. Is there anything else here that might? I don't like the idea of thinking 1, 2, 1, right? Just for giggles. I'd want to see if this was technical. Not really, even at a large scale. Oh shit, I can't even look at it there. Well, let's zoom in there. See, large scale is a pain in the ass, right? Because it distorts everything. But there's times where you're stuck with it. Like more accommodating to a 1, 2 there. Right to the golden. 1, 2. You want to buy that? No. It's just as I was saying before. Let's use the other one. I got to come out of here. I got to break some of this. You got to give me something here. Right, then I'll take the retrace. I'll wait for the retrace. Right, I was saying before, patience pays. Right, I'll wait for it. Right, see, people get so they're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to miss it. FOMO. That's a hurry up and wait in my book. EGLD. Oh, I think he wants. Where's the aggregator? That's the easiest one. I may have to do it. Go to Binance. Okay. Do we have to be in large scale? Looks like we do. I'm assuming that's what he wants. What happened to October? Well, let's look off the low. You want to buy that? Oh, just kind of working backwards. God, that's too bad. But of course, look what happens down here. Liquidity grab. Oh, but you got to be mindful that could happen again. Which is what I was saying before, right? It's why you can't. You got to be careful about this. Oh, that's it for sure. That's the one. Oh shit, no, it's not. Oh well, that's it. Oh, that's it for sure. Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh, that's it for sure. Oh, I know it's coming. Eventually, right, if we're going to have a bullish result here after this big long retracement, yeah, but that looks, see, that was there, right? That looks like you had a 5 down and a 5 up, but oh, nope. So sorry. So sorry. Try again. Right, it's not, see, but don't let a stop out kill a good idea, right? If you get stopped out, okay, sorry about it, but get used to it. You better get used to it. You got to thank the stop, right? Thank you. Thanks for keeping me from being a big loser. Okay, well, does this, that looks like a 5, but then so does that, but that looks like a 3. So you're just, why, what are you doing down here? Why are you trading this? What is your edge here? You go to 4 hour, right? Now then you distort the range and you start thinking to yourself, oh, okay, I see it. Do you see an impulse there? I don't. If anything, I see an ABC, right? It's not impulsive. So then, okay, well then you're really talking yourself into it, right? So, oh, I know it's going to be a diag. Well, it could be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be a diag coming out of here. We're going to do it in a series of 3s. Okay, maybe, but you're that's just wishful thinking. You're going, well, God, that's what I want it to be because I'm bullish. Well, okay, let's see. Is that Al in there? Could be, right? It's too bad, right? It was kind of looked like, oh yeah, sure, we're looking good, but no. So if you're going to lean into the diag, well, make it prove it. Jesus, look at all the imbalances. God, that's too many of them on there. Let me get these down. Let's put 8 of them on there. All right, but they're there. Right, you got to get through all those imbalances. And by the way, of course, you're going to have to get through the big one, Al on the other side, right up here, right at an imbalance. Looks like one of these is off. Oh, fuck. Close enough, right? Is that that's wishful thinking. Well, let's see. So if you're thinking, oh, it's going to be a diag, right? Well, you'd be expecting a zigzag, right? Can I get a 5-3-5 to turn, some sort of a, it doesn't have to be a perfect zigzag, but at least I got to get an ABC. So ideally, you'd look for 5-3-5 if you're leaning into the idea that I'm going to get a diag out of this. Okay, well, draw it up. Okay, well, all right. Could it be? Yeah, it could be. Is this what you're thinking? Okay, well, if that's the case and you're going to get a 3 here, it's like you're going to need a zigzag, right? You're going to need, oh, come here. You need something like this to get you there. So where's the trade? Well, I would propose to you, not this one. It's this one. If I get the A here of the B, right, I want to be in this one. That's the money ball. But can you wait for that? Look, that would be algo target here. There's definitely an algo fired there. That's where they fire between the 50 and the golden. Okay, well, so you're going to miss that? See, it's in my mind here, it's always better to, I'll let that go. Because it might not in a downtrend here. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower low. Okay, that's not a higher high yet. It's higher internal to this, but that's the pivot, right? That's going to have to break to get a change of character. So 1, 2, I want that one. And I'll wait for that because that could set up and be technical, right? Maybe I can get that. Don't forget, you're going to have to blow through that, right? But look where the target is. So there's a good spot for a partial. Because if I think it's going to be a 3, I'm not expecting it to do that. I'm expecting it to do something closer to that. But partial, because for all we don't know that's going to turn into a diag. That's a lot of assuming. Oh, well, maybe we pivot there. We pivot here and come back down. Maybe it's a short 3. You don't know, right? So you can't fill in the blanks in your mind's eye, right? Let the market show it to you. Nio. Nio, I think he would want, I think that's crypto, no? Maybe not. I'm going to assume it's that. Okay, let's go to a daily. That's an ADR, though. Doesn't he? Oh, fuck, I'm not sure what he wants there. NIO, that's got to be it. Okay, well, just right off the bat, what's the first thing your eye should be drawn to, right? We'll look at all that imbalance. So that's muscle. Well, there's a couple of things down here, right? It's just at a glance. Okay, first place. You think there's some stops down here? Yeah. Is that Al getting involved there? Yep. Of course, right? He's always there, right? Always, right? Always. It's not, you hear me say this all the time. It's not why it moves, it's how it moves. All right, so here we go. So there's Al. Right, there he is right there. Now, so the Algo fires there. We can't get to target. We can't sweep that liquidity. Right, so now that's why it's worth waiting for this, right? Because I guarantee you, right, if they could get it, they would, right? So this is muscle stepping in, right, to prevent that from happening. Right? They want it up. Oh, it's probably back to back, right? It's probably a series here. Right, to the 50, got target. That's probably one from above. That's probably a 50 there. Okay, now we're breaking, right? So now you got some blue sky. Okay, what just happened here, right? That would be change. No, that would be a break of structure, right? Because it got a new low, right? So we've got break of structure up, right? Because that gave us this break of structure down, right? All right. So this is significant. Now, okay. So what do we? Do I have to say it? What do we not? What do we know? What do we anticipate? Retrace, right? So now we do the same thing. Well, let's see. This would be the 2. We're looking for a 4. See how there's kind of there's a very consistent method here that's what we're trying to teach you. You don't have to love the Elliott Wave, right? But when it's there, God damn, there's nothing better. When it's on, it's almost hard to believe, right, that it'll do it, right? Seriously? Well, oh my God. Right? So this is the kind of thing where you're like, oh, let's see, let's just make that a liquidity, right? Or just a break of structure here. Break, retrace, break, retrace. So that's a pretty big break. Now, how far did it go, right? Is that how confident are we in that as a wave 3? Well, here's your high probability zone, but we got an extra leg on it. So might you think this? You might. Because of that. Let's get that out of there. Well, now let's look at it. That certainly has the characteristics of a 4, right? As we pause, right? So what are how do we recognize the 4, right? We stop progressing the trend, and then we get a kick, right? It's possible. But the 4 to the 2 doesn't quite balance, right? So that would be secondary count. If we start to come down harder, I'd be thinking that. But this looks like it's pretty clean here, and the wave relationships are better. Again, do I know that's what it is? No, that's never what I'm saying, right? But just get out of there. There's no knowing. We don't know, right? We look for an edge. Do I have an edge here? Well, let's start put the whole thing together, right? Can I use the geometry? Absolutely. Where, again, as I just drew it, where am I anticipating that for? I don't know that we've topped here, but I know that all the conditions are ripe, right? I'm anticipating the retrace to come down to 38. Where's the high probability location for a wave 4? Where do they usually go, right? Between the 23 and the 38. So boom, where's the next trade, right? Can you be patient? Well, what if it goes? What if it goes? Well, what if it does? You see, you have to have rules, right? You have to have a method that you stick to. Otherwise, you're just winging it every time you open the charts. Oh, fuck it, I'll take it. I don't buy those. Again, as I said, not because I've read it in a book or saw it in a video. I lost so much money buying those. It's a hard rule now. But trust me, I tested it with money, with live money. I don't do it now because of that result. Right now, maybe you haven't had that result. I don't know. I'm just saying, be cautious of that. But you see, don't you understand why? Right? Do you think there's some stops there? Yeah, there were stops there. Yes, they've been grabbed. Market likes to grab the liquidity and come down, right? Where's the next pool of liquidity? Right? Likely below. Okay, right, so there's that's Nio. Last one, ABA. Okay, last one, and then I'm out of here. God damn, I fucked up. I went so long on the first one. On the first set, AVA, Travala? What the fuck? AVA. That's got to be it. Oh, shit. AVA USD. Yeah, let's try to see if I can find something other than, like, Jesus, does Poloniex still exist, AVA USD? I guess they do. Let's use the aggregator here so we can get, right, you can't trade off of this. But you get all the exchanges, right? So you don't, let's get that. Do I have to be in log scale? Well, I guess I do. Oh, that's a, oh, there we go. Okay, so what are we doing with that? Well, it looks like you're fairly clean here. I don't know, does the market move in 5s and 3s? It's so hard to tell. Let's go big on that one. Well, if it's going to retrace into a 2, where do they usually go? Get our wave 2 on there. We'll just go to golden. Well, that's a disappointing pump and dump. Well, what do you do with that? Well, there's a 5, 3. Oof. Just at first glance, that looks to me like we're doing WX. Ugh. Y. Oops, I'm going to need another X. Looks to me like we're going to have to do W. Oh, God, I don't even like that. I can't say I love this. At first glance, you might even... God, it actually looks like you do it here. And this would be your X, but I can't. Right, I can't make that fly. Well, I don't know what caused that, but that's a classic pump and dump. We haven't taken that low, but I wouldn't go near that. to go 1-2 is really a stretch, but the WXY, like A, B, C into this, into A, B, looks like you'd be C into that low. No, that is log scale. Well, it's kind of the same idea, right? So you're in all of this consolidation, right? So if we drew a, can I even do it here? Let's see. Let's just take that across. Oh, fuck. I can't do it, right? Because I'm on the aggregator, so I can't get volume. Here's what's the good news here. The only thing we know with absolute certainty in the market is from that consolidation will come expansion. We know that. We don't have to wonder if that's going to happen. That's going to happen. But you don't know which direction it's going to come. So certainly could come lower, but you wouldn't, you're just rolling dice here, right? Or you flip a coin. Heads I buy, tails I sell. Right? You have absolutely no edge there. There's no reason to participate there. You got to wait for that to break out of this. Again, take a snapshot, put it in your journal. Why did you take the trade? What was your edge? You don't have one. So that's a hurry up and wait. Now, for some, I'd want to know why it did that. What that was about. Why did we literally came back 99% of it? You think that's 1-2? No, that's hurry up and wait. Okay, all right, I got to get out of here, guys. All right, at least I got them all. I think I did. I went kind of fast through that last group. I don't know if hopefully I didn't do a disservice to any here, but this was awfully. Oh, it almost doesn't matter, right? You can't touch that until that breaks one way or the other. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks to all that hung out with me and to those of you that watch after the fact. We will get these time-coded, right, so you don't have to sit through all of it. You just go to the assets that interest you. We always make an effort to do that. Okay, with that, I'm going to go grab a bite of lunch.